Hi everybody, how you doing? Hope you're all okay today. Thank you for joining me once again on another little video adventure. If you've not been to the channel before, my name's Jason. We are at Swanwick Marina, I think it's Swanwick Marina. So I've just had a lovely day so far. It's been really nice. I met up with my cousin Grant, who I've not really seen for a number of years really to sit down and have a proper chat with, so it's been lovely catching up with him. We've been for lunch in the Old Ship, which is a really lovely pub. We had a huge lunch, really nice, and a nice couple of hours sat in the sun chatting about old times and when we were kids and stuff like that. So it's been absolutely gorgeous, it's been beautiful, and that is just around the corner from where I am now really. So those of you of a certain age may remember a programme in the 80s called Howard's Way, and this is where that was set. So it was quite a famous filming location back in its day. It's absolutely gorgeous here today. It's so still and calm. There's people kayaking, people out on paddle boards. I've actually been kayaking here myself before. So really today's video, I just wanted to come down here, spend a bit of time down here. If you watched my last video, you'll remember that I started filling out the Dear Dad book that my girls bought me. So I think you'll remember I filled out one page of that where I was talking about the toys I had, my favourite toys when I was a kid, and that was quite good fun. I think I'm going to go and find somewhere to sit down. There's a nice place here for sale. Wow. This building here would make a fantastic painting studio for me. How lovely would that be? So although this is a public footpath, I think it's only a right of way. So from what I can ascertain, you've got these properties here and this is their gardens there. Wow. It's quite special, isn't it? Right. So yeah, I don't know whether some of you are aware, but about 10 years ago I bought an old camper van. 1998, it was nice, it was in really nice condition when I bought it. Used it for quite a bit, did a tour of North Wales, through Snowdonia and stuff like that. Had an amazing week and it was just beautiful. We used it for lots of days out, taking it to the beach, kayaking, all those sort of things, really nice. But then sort of life happened and things got in the way. Didn't really find ourselves with much time to use it or anything like that. So it kind of sat there. It developed a bit of a starting problem and sort of just became really difficult to fix. And it became really hard to find somebody to have a look at it, to be honest, that really knew what they were doing. So last year I was getting really frustrated, and it went into a couple of places to have some work done. Unfortunately, no one was able to really pinpoint what the problem was, the starting problem with it. Anyway, we jump forward to this year now, with the help of a couple of good friends of mine, Tony and Steve. Thanks, guys. Between them, they've managed to work out what the issues were, and yeah, we're all up and running now. So the van is now started, it runs, and it's it's getting there. So I've got a bit more work to do on it before it actually gets going, and I can get it MOT'd and stuff like that. But it finally looks like this year I'm going to be able to use the camper van, which is really, really exciting. Probably what I'll do is go away for a weekend at first, just try it out, see how I get on. But I'm really excited at the prospect of doing it, especially being as I'm doing these kind of vlog things now. I'm seeing things in a different light, and obviously taking things a bit slower really gives me the opportunity to kind of appreciate what there is and what I can do with my time, and then maybe look at doing a longer stay away, maybe a week of touring somewhere, which would be amazing. But yeah, being able to take the time out of your day, it's just so good for your mental health, you know. Not enough people do this. For me, this is the sort of thing that I would have done on a holiday before, not on a normal Tuesday afternoon or Monday. It's actually Monday, isn't it? So that's how laid back I am these days. I don't even know what the day of the week it is. Bliss. That's what it is. And the trees are magnificent in their colour. They're looking gorgeous green. The sky is about as blue as you can get, with some amazing cloud formations. Contrasts are beautiful. I think when I get back to the marina bit, I'm going to definitely find somewhere to sit down. I was contemplating getting a cup of coffee or a cup of tea up at that Mermaid's coffee shop up in the other marina that we've just been to. But I don't really need to today. I bought my flask. I made a flask of tea because I didn't think there would be really anywhere to get a cup of tea down here. So yeah, I'm just going to find somewhere to sit down and have a cup of tea, I think. But it's that old thing, isn't it? It's we forget about the beauty on our own doorstep. Then you get other people from other places come to visit, and they're like, oh, it's amazing, it's beautiful. And it's like, is it? I hadn't really noticed. Daft, isn't it? Oh yeah.
Sorry to be wrecking your
No, that's fine. This little bit here is just beautiful. I love this little garden. Look at it. What a place to sit just for your evening cup of tea. The tree, I love that tree. Wow. Yeah, I think these benches, I think this is somewhere nice to sit. What do you reckon? Should we give it a go? Just have a little look round. It's so warm now. So yeah, I found the place to sit down, which is fantastic, on these benches here, and it's really nice. I'm just looking out over to the kind of marina and stuff like that from where I'm sat. So it's really nice, really pleasant. Sea smells quite salty today, which is always a nice thing as well. Just reminds you where you are, doesn't it? It's that not only the visual stimulation, but you know, all the senses, which is amazing. So sat down here now. I've got a nice cup of tea. I've got my flask and my cup of tea, and it stayed really hot today, which is good, even though it's hot. We love a hot cup of tea when it's hot, don't we? It's nice and refreshing. But yeah, it's gorgeous here today. It's a great place to sit and write. So yeah, I'm going to do some more in the journal, my Dear Dad journal that my girls gave me. So that was really nice to fill out, and it felt really good to do that. And I'm really enjoying doing that sort of kind of stuff at the moment. It's really fulfilling, and it just, yeah, I suppose again it's stimulating memories, it's triggering things, and you know, most of it hopefully positive stuff, not negative stuff. But yeah, I'm really getting something out of it, and I know, you know, a few of you sent me comments and messages after the last video, which was lovely, and speaking to some people in person, you know, people have said that, you know, they've kind of started doing that for themselves now, and they've started thinking about doing the journaling that they can hand down to their kids, and just it's a lovely thing to do, and they're really interested in finding out a bit more about it, I suppose. And I suppose in a way, you know, this is a way for me to tell my story both to the world, which if the world's willing to listen, then I'm willing to tell people, but also, like I say, to my girls, to my family. It's a really good way of doing it, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill out the section for today's journal, but I've decided, like I said last week, I'm not going to go through the book in the order it's meant to be. I'm going to jump and just pick out the bits that I fancy doing when I fancy doing them, really. So the bit I'm going to do today, I'm going to talk about things I remember and the places I lived when I was growing up, really. So some of you know that, you know, I did move around quite a lot when I was a kid, and so some of that's quite interesting. So I'm going to make some notes on that, write some stuff down, and then what I'll do, I'll come back and yeah, I'll just run through it and read it through to you, and you can make up your own minds. So, all right. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue having my cup of tea, and I'm going to make some notes in the journal. So hi everyone, I'm back again. I've written down the stuff in the Dear Dad diary today. As I said, what I was going to do about and what I was going to write about today were about where I grew up when I was a kid, houses I lived in, some little bits of information like that. And I hope you find it interesting. The problem is with this book, there's so much to write, but there's not enough space to write it in. So I'm just trying to fit in as much as I can, but keep it brief and to the point. But I could go off on different tangents about stuff, but I'm going to try not to do that. Yeah. So I'm going to run through, I'm going to read through. So the question was, what do you remember about the places you lived when you were a child? Oh yeah, you're right?
Yeah, good, thanks, you're right.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Lovely day, isn't it?
It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so calm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah. I think they forecast rain for today as well at the beginning of the week.
Yeah,
They did,
yeah.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just mind-blowing. But no, it's just, it's beautiful,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And it's just like the trees look amazing, don't they? It's
Oh.
like, it's like,
It's mind-boggling, isn't
Yeah.
it? This part of the world, really. Well, I mean, we've got French visitors, and we've taken them around here, and we visit them in van, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but medieval place. And
oh
but
yeah.
this is sort of matching it, really. And you're like, actually, I don't feel ashamed. This is all right. London.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I know. We've got so much to be grateful of,
Yeah,
haven't we? We
well,
really
good luck
have.
with your condition.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. So yeah, thanks. Take care.
Take care.
So I think the one thing as well doing this, you know, coming out into the open air and doing it, and it really helps you engage in conversation with people, and it's just really nice. Everybody's really chatty. It's lovely, and it just makes you realise that you don't actually need to do all these things with someone, which is one of the things we kind of think, oh, I can't do that on my own, I can't be seen to be doing that on my own. Actually doing this really makes you less self-conscious, and you know, talking into the camera is even, you know, it's crucial for that. So but yeah, the one thing you do notice is just, yeah, people, random strangers come up and talk, and it's absolutely lovely. And especially when the weather's like this, you know, we are in Britain, so we do talk about the weather, don't we? It's the one thing, it's one common thing that we've all got. So so that's really lovely. So I'm going to read this. I'm really sorry if this sounds a bit wooden and it comes across as a bit wooden, because I've just sort of sketched this down and written these notes down. So I'm going to try and make it make sense as much as possible. All right. So thanks for sticking with me. So the first place I can vaguely remember living was in a small caravan on a patch of land behind the petrol station on the avenue in Southampton. So I don't know whether anybody know, if anybody's watching and they do know that, there is, where the road splits and you can go down to Chilworth, there is a patch of land there that's overgrown and wild now. And we lived in a tiny little caravan, and I'm sort of talking the sort of thing that you tow to go on holiday. We lived on this tiny patch of land in this little tiny caravan behind the garage there. And the reason we lived there, my dad was running the petrol station or working at the petrol station at the time. We didn't really have anywhere to live, so I can remember we just lived in this tiny little caravan. It was so small, and that was yeah, I suppose quite an adventure. I mean, the one thing about all the places I've lived, I've never lived anywhere glamorous, but it's always been a bit of an adventure, and it's always brought about its own challenges, I suppose. So we lived there, living in that small caravan on a patch of land behind the petrol station on the avenue. I'm not sure how long we stayed there for. I was probably around about 4 years of age at the time. So looking back, I think we moved from there to another caravan park in Oliver's Battery in Winchester, which was slightly different, just slightly bigger caravan, and it was on a site. So I don't know whether you remember in the last video that I talked about my red go-kart that I had when I was a kid, and that was where I remember having that go-kart and using that go-kart. So that has quite vivid memories for me. Again, it was not a huge caravan, it was a static caravan, it wasn't huge, but I remember I had a pull down bed. You used to have to pull it down from the wall. I think it might have even been in the lounge that I slept there, and it was a pull down bed, I think. I know there was a pull down bed. I remember that being really cold in the winter and quite desolate at times. So then we moved to a top floor flat on a place called Clifton Terrace in Winchester, and that was an amazing flat. It was a beautiful flat. We lived there for a good couple of years, I think, and I remember being sort of 7, 8 at the time we lived there. It was pretty amazing. It was a huge flat, and it overlooked Peninsula Barracks, and it overlooked the railway line near Winchester train station, and that was gorgeous. It was huge. So I've written here, the flat seemed really huge after living most of my life in very small caravans. I do have really fond memories of living there, although the bailiffs coming in to take the TV away whilst the school friend and I were watching our favourite TV programme, Banana Splits, at the time, and also the police raiding the lodger's bedroom for growing cannabis. They're two events I would rather forget from my childhood, to be honest. But we stayed living in that flat for another couple of years while my dad worked as a school caretaker. First of all, he was at Western Primary School in Winchester, and then he managed to get a job working as a caretaker at Westgate School in Cheriton Road in Winchester, and that is where we went to live, and we lived in a cottage that was attached to the school. So essentially I've written, and when he got his job as a caretaker at Westgate School in Cheriton Road, we moved into the cottage attached to the school. That house was freezing. It had no real heating, and I remember most of the windows didn't shut properly. So I can remember we had 2 or 3 paraffin heaters and the house really smelling of paraffin, and a lot of people my age will resonate with that. You'll remember your parents not having any central heating, not having fires, but just having paraffin heaters that absolutely stunk. It was not a pleasant smell. So I can remember that. That's really vivid. Eventually we moved from there and we moved to what's known as a 2 up, 2 down, a tiny little terraced council house in Winchester at the top of Stanmore. It was just tiny. And I remember at that time when we lived there, we had various sort of people coming in and living with us at times and sharing the house. And there was only 2 bedrooms. So I can remember that for a period of time I didn't even have a bedroom. So I used to just sleep on the sofa in the lounge. That was essentially my bedroom. So during the day it was, and the evening was where everyone sat and watched TV and ate their dinner, because there was nowhere else to eat the dinner because the kitchen was so tiny. Then I would then go to bed and go to sleep on the sofa because there was nowhere else basically to sleep. So that was the 2 up, 2 down, and then we moved from there. We were there a couple of years, and then we moved to a flat in the valley in Thurman Crescent, Stanmore, and we lived there for, I don't know how long my mum and dad lived there for, to be honest. I remember living there for a couple of years, and that was the last place I remember living and being with my mum and dad. So I think that's probably about 7 or 8 places maybe that we lived when I was a kid. And but I do remember we lived, or being told that we lived when I was a baby, that we lived in a flat in Bodmin Road in Bishopstoke in Eastleigh. But obviously I have no recollection of that. But yeah, I hope that's given you a good insight into sort of where I came from, what I did, and you know, kind of where I've ended up really. So yeah, today I was going to talk about a whole host of things really. I'm going to talk about the fact that my camper van's nearly on the road and I'm really excited about that and really hoping to get away somewhere soon in that, which would be fantastic. And thank you to Steve and Tony for their help with getting that sorted. Like I say, I was going to talk a lot today about various different things, but it's been incredible down here. I've loved it at Swanwick. I have sat and talked to so many people today and had conversations with so many people. It's made me realise you don't need to always do something with someone. So if there is anyone out there, you know, that's on their own, not in a relationship, haven't got anyone to do things with apart from their normal friends, but when they're not available, you're just kind of stuck, aren't you? You just think you're in a bit of a limbo and, oh, I can't do anything. All my friends are busy today. Do you know what? Just take a punt, get out there. Go and sit on a park bench somewhere and just chat to people as they come along and sit down, you know. It really opens up a whole new world. It's lovely. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great. I just had a lovely chat with a guy. Been sat talking to him for about 20 minutes about his day and about my day and what I'm doing and what he's doing, his cycling that he's doing. And it's just been really nice. It's been so lovely. Walking down this little country lane with the main road at the end of it. I don't even know where I am really. Hopefully I'm going to come out at the pub where I parked the car. Hopefully it's still there. But yeah, Swanwick. On a day like today, you can't go wrong. It's a beautiful place to come and visit. Make sure you do. So yeah guys, I'm back in the car now. It's really hot in here, but yeah, what an amazing afternoon I've had. I met my cousin Grant for lunch, which was brilliant. It was, you know, fantastic to see him and catch up. It was really great, and it was just like old times when we were kids. So it was just gorgeous down there. In weather like this, it is like you are somewhere abroad, or you could even be somewhere like Cornwall or whatever. So it's lovely. But I think the thing I'm going to take from today, and the thing I really loved, and the thing that has really, I don't know, lifted my spirits as much as anything, is the willingness of strangers to talk and just have conversations with strangers if you're open and receptive to that and you don't just keep yourself to yourself, look at your feet or whatever. You know, if you walk along, you acknowledge people, you say hi to people, or even, you know, when people come and sit on another bench that's near you and you just acknowledge them, you say hi, how are you? People are willing to talk, and everybody loves talking about themselves, don't they? It's just been brilliant. I've had some amazing conversations this afternoon. It's been truly lovely. So I've had a really special day today. Thank you to Grant, my cousin. Thank you to all those lovely people that I've spoken to, have told me some really inspiring stories about themselves as well. So the Old Ship, the pub that we went into earlier, I can highly recommend it. There it is. It's a really lovely pub, but the food is really lovely. The burger that I had today was gorgeous. So just want to say thank you so much for listening, watching today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or like button. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. And yeah, look after yourselves. See you later.